this first sort of update for Marvel Rivals and us seeing the introduction of 2 characters from Fantastic Four, it really tells us that we could see anyone from any corner of the universe, of the Marvel Cinematic Comic universe in Marvel Rivals. And we've already seen that before. Characters that we've never seen on screen. Squirrel Girl, Cloak and Dagger, Jeff the Shark, and other characters more notable like Captain America, Iron Man are in this game. So today I thought it'd be really cool to give you 10 characters that I believe could be in this game as some interesting pieces a part of it. And I'm not going to give you 10 obvious answers like saying, oh, I want Black Widow and blah, 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 blah. I try to go deep in my Marvel bag and pull out some guys that I don't think you ever thought of. I'll give you 3 healers, 3 tanks, and 4 DPSs because those are the most common characters in the game. I think there's more DPSs than so healers and tanks combined. But other than that, let's just get right into it. So we're gonna start off with the tanks, which is the first thing that we're gonna do. And we're gonna start off with a really obvious one. It's the Thing. I mean, we already have 2 of the Fantastic Four characters in there, Invisible Woman, and then of course, Mr. Fantastic. But the Thing is an awesome tank to have. So each of these characters that I talk about, I give them an ultimate ability because I think the ult is really what makes a character like signature thing they do. And for the Thing, I think it would be really awesome for him to have his 2 sort of massive hands, because he's made of rocks, hit the ground and have a massive earthquake effect for everyone in front of him. I think it could be a widespread effect that can stun them or damage them, maybe shaking them in place, having them be stuck, but they have to be on the ground. If they're flying, I think they're okay. Can't have these abilities just stun everyone, just kill everyone instantly. But if you're on the ground and then maybe in front of the Thing and sort of this triangular shaped thing in front of him and you slam the ground, I think having them stunned and stick there for 3 seconds, maybe have some damage on them, would be an amazing ultimate ability for the Thing. But this one seemed like an obvious. A tank, it's the Thing, he's a massive character, a lot of health, and I think he'd be amazing in a game like Marvel Rivals, with the game like already having 2 of the people from the Fantastic Four. Now let's go into someone that you might not have thought of, especially as a tank. I'm gonna go with Daredevil. Daredevil is maybe seen as more an agile character, but I think that he can fit the tank role similar to Captain America. A tank that doesn't have 700 health, maybe more 400 or 500, but is more agile, able to move around better. The thing about Daredevil that I think would be really cool is I think that he could use his staff, sort of spin it in front of him and create sort of a shield, maybe something to protect himself, and that's how we can see him as a tank. Maybe having it, whistle in front of him and spin so that it hits all the bullets, because he can obviously dodge bullets and everything. That he's Daredevil. And I think what would be really cool for his ultimate ability is to blind other players. Like, obviously we know Daredevil is blind, right? And I think what his cool idea is, if you don't know about Daredevil, he has telepathy, he is telepathic, he's a kind of similar to Professor X, Charles Xavier, and I think him telepathically blinding all of the enemy team for a short amount of time, maybe not completely, but maybe having their screen become really blurry, would be such an awesome effect. Maybe he shoots out something and it completely blinds everyone. Maybe during his ultimate, which is 10 seconds, he's able to dash to each person and blind them all individually. That would be awesome. I don't think it should be everyone in the game, just everyone in this sort of center area, but that would be a very cool ability. And I think that he could be a mobile tank, which we haven't seen before in this game. The closest thing we really have to a tank that's super mobile is maybe Captain America or Doctor Strange's really overpowered portal ability. And then finally, I think this is another obvious one for the tank, but we have Beast. I think Beast is a very cool character in X-Men, and we see Wolverine, we see other X-Men characters, Storm, but we don't have Professor X, we have Magneto maybe, but Beast would be a great introduction. X-Men is a place where I think that they can get a lot of really cool characters from this. People that we haven't seen before. We got a lot of Avengers from the cinematic universe, some Guardians of the Galaxy, but I would love to see Beast in this game. And I think what Beast could have a really cool ability is we don't really have many ultimates that have a lot of lingering abilities. So I think what his ability should be is a massive sharp claw jump, similar to maybe Winter Soldier pushing down, right? And I think it could be similar to Winter Soldier where you have multiple jumps and maybe his ult's just quicker. He can jump and slash people with his hands, and what they will do is they will slowly bleed out even after his initial hit. So maybe his initial hit takes out 150 HP, 200 HP, like a massive amount of damage, but then after that, they slowly bleed out and they will bleed out 100 more HP. Or maybe they continue to bleed out and won't stop until they're healed. That would be a crazy ability because it gives you a lingering effect that I think would be really cool. And we don't have another character that has a lingering damage effect like that I can at least think off the top of my head. Maybe he does a whole area, not just the people in front of him, but maybe people 20 feet in front of him, all of them can slash at the same time. And maybe can instantly kill healers, so maybe 100, 200, 250 HP, maybe higher. And then after that, those tanks won't get insta killed, but they'll be bleeding non-stop because the healers are dead. But if the healers are out of the way, they can save them. So the shield is really going to be like, enemy shields are going to be really good against that. And I think he should have a pausing moment before he kind of sits and then jumps and slashes, so that it gives, you know, enemy players ability to put shields up so that Beast won't have be a problem for you. So I think that's a really cool ability for Beast for an ultimate. And those are the tanks that I have. Now let's get started with the DPS. Now these characters are the most in the game, so we got 4 of them. And the first one is a character that I've seen people ask for a bunch, and this is Deadpool. Deadpool would be such a sick character. He is voice lines maybe would be some of the funniest voice lines in the game and bring an edgier part of the game. Maybe that we're not quite looking for that huge edgy part, but it would be cool to see him in there. And I think that what's really cool about Deadpool is his ability to be immune, to suck up bullets, for them not to have any effect on him at all. So for his ultimate, I think what it would be is all ranged attacks, he would eat them up. No problem. He cannot take damage. His ability is a ultimate just for himself. He's not helping out other players, just for him. And he just takes everything, all ranged attacks. Now, if it's a melee attack, right, like an Iron Fist punching you, I don't think he should be able to be ultimate towards that. But let's say he is fighting a Mantis is shooting him, and then he uses his ultimate ability. That shit is doing no damage. Ranged attack, he can do extra jumping, and Deadpool would be a guy that can do flips and, you know, have crazy mobility, crazy moves in the middle of the game, so he can go in and hit someone and kill them. That would be amazing for him to eat up bullets like that. I think it would be so sick. So Deadpool's one that I think that ability as a DPS, being able to take all damage no matter what if they're ranged attacks and then kill everyone for like maybe a 5-10 second period, would be crazy. But there is the downside of it, of where you can take melee damage, and I don't think he should get maybe a crazy extra amount of health when he does turn on his ability. So that's just me. Next up, for the DPS, we have a guy that no one has thought of, in my opinion. I think this would be sick. I have Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider has not been seen at all in this game, and I would absolutely love to see Ghost Rider. So here's my idea for Ghost Rider. First off, would be one of the coolest characters. He'd bring up a fire effect that we haven't seen before. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, what about the Human Torch, right? From Fantastic Four, if we're gonna have 3 of them, have 4, but I feel like that's an obvious one. And if we really wanna incorporate fire with a really cool character, fuck it, let's do Ghost Rider, okay? And I think what his ultimate ability should be, okay? Maybe he has a chain for his normal attack. Maybe he has an ability with fire for his normal attack. But I think what his ultimate ability would be is that he snaps and he gets on a motorcycle, right? And he gets a bunch of health for his motorcycle. And he can drive his motorcycle around and create a massive fire lane behind them. And anyone who steps into that fire lane takes an insane amount of damage, and armor does not help you, okay? You have to jump over it. And I don't think jump like a normal jump can do it. I think you have to be able to climb or fly over it. Like, and imagine an ability like Ghost Rider, right? You have an area that you're trying to secure. You have a zone that you're trying to be in. You use your Ghost Fire ability and you just motorcycle around the zone. How awesome would that be? What if you're able to motorcycle around people and trap them in the fire, and the fire lasts for maybe 10 seconds? That would be an absolutely stupid ability. That would be so fucking cool. So I love the idea of Ghost Rider being in the game and his ability to drive around and encapsulate people. So that's a thing that I think would be really cool with Ghost Rider, and that's why I have him as a really cool DPS in this game, rather than a guy like Human Torch that can kind of just fly around and shoot fire. I think Ghost Rider would be much cooler. Our next person that I have for a DPS, now I love the idea of villains, right? I love the idea of villains. I'm gonna go with Dormammu. This is a character that we've seen one time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Doctor Strange, but my first introduction to Dormammu as a character is actually in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the old original Xbox game, or Xbox 360, I can't remember which one. That would be sick, right? So my thing about Dormammu is I think that he would be very cool with a dark energy type of feel. You don't have too many dark energy, dark looming characters in this game. You have Cloak and Dagger, which is kind of a 50-50 with that, but Dormammu would be very cool, you know? So I think a great ultimate ability for Dormammu would be sucking dark energy into the character. So you know how Dormammu has sort of the ability to push it into it, and he can kind of turn into whatever he wants. Taking that dark energy, he's the destroyer of the dark worlds, right? Destroyer of worlds, Dormammu puts the dark energy into the enemy teams, and for maybe 3-5 seconds, whatever it may be, what that dark energy would do is when the enemy shoots you, instead of damaging you, it heals you. So it literally turns them to the dark side, quote unquote, and helping the other team. That would be crazy. So imagine Dormammu uses his dark ability, and let's say Hela is using her ultimate. Now her ultimate's only healing you and damaging her own team. That is a dark side ability if I've ever heard one. So Dormammu would be such a cool character. We've seen him in his human form before in gaming, and he has a very cool human form purple and red suit that I think would be sick. And his ability to sort of create dark energy, and then you of course he's only hurting you while you damage him. I don't think they should be frozen because that's enough of an ability. So the enemy team needs to be smart enough to not shoot you. That would be crazy though. Now I think the healers maybe on the other team can still heal their own teammates, help them out so that it's not too overpowered, right? Because you can't be not shooting the enemy team for long. I think it only could be like 3-5 seconds, but man, would it be so cool. You see other enemy team not damaging you, but helping you, and let's say they have a splash ability effect, they're hurting their own team. That'd be so sick, but hopefully it wouldn't be for too long. So that would be Dormammu. And then my last person that I think would be absolutely amazing to have in this game is Mystique. I think Mystique would be so cool as a DPS. Now, I think that she should be doing, obviously she can turn into any character, right? But we already have a guy that can do that low-key for their ultimate ability where you can turn into anyone on your team. So I went a different direction here. For Mystique's ultimate ability, which I think she'd be awesome to have, I think that she should be able to turn into multiple versions of herself. I think that'd be cool. But for that, I think that she should turn all of your team, you and your 5 other teammates, into Mystique at once. Turn them into Mystique, right? And they still have their own normal abilities of shooting you, right? If they're Doctor Strange, you turn into Mystique, you still have the Doctor Strange abilities. But the enemy team now has no idea who's who. So let's say the enemy team's Punisher, and Punisher's thinking they're shooting a healer. And then now you're turning to Mystique, and now, as Mystique, Punisher's no longer shooting a healer. They think they're shooting the healer, but now they're shooting the tank, and they don't know it. They're not going to play the tank how they'd play the healer. Maybe you give yourself an extra 100, 200 HP as well, and you turn all your teammates into whatever. That'd be so cool. Mystique cannot just turn himself into Mystique, but everyone else. Now everyone is Mystique, even though they still have their main abilities. That would be sick. It would have your entire team like, what the fuck is going on? I can't believe I have no idea who I'm shooting now. You can still see them, but you have no idea who's who. Yeah, you have to just focus and only pay attention to their shooting back at you to tell who you're talking about, right? Mystique using the Doctor Strange ability, you obviously can tell it is Doctor Strange using that ability, but especially for newer players, this would be such a hard thing to do, especially right away. If let's say everyone's bumbled together and then moving away from each other and then spreading out, you would have no clue who's who. So that's Mystique's ultimate ability, and she'd be such a cool character, being able to camouflage and turn into things. It'd be awesome. We have our supports. Now our supports maybe are gonna be, I'm excited for the supports, okay? The healers, it's the healers of the game. And for my first support, I am gonna go with Silver Surfer. Now, Silver Surfer is an interesting one. He is kind of, could it be a tank, right? Because he's metallic. And I think he should be the healer with the most health, right? And I think a good thing to do is right here, he has his amount of health, and then he has a lot of armor because he's silver. I think what his healing should be is not healing your teammates' HP, right? You can do that. I think what his healing should be is being able to have the ability to add armor on top of it. So let's say you are a tank with 100 HP, right? Let's say you're Captain America. He's got 400 HP, I'm pretty sure. He's got 100. You're Mantis, you heal him, you can heal him back to 400, and that's it. If you're Silver Surfer, you don't heal him to 400. You give him 100, and then you continue armor. And you can heal that armor up to whatever is the max amount of health they have. Now you're gonna say this is overpowered, right? This is crazy overpowered. But you can only heal them up to that certain amount. So let's say you have 100 HP, okay? You can only give them 300 HP amount of armor. That would be pretty crazy. But as soon as another character gives them more HP, that amount of armor you give them will slowly drop with the amount of HP they have. So it's not staying forever, and it's not super OP. So you only can really give armor to players that don't have a lot of health, right? And that's what the healer is really for. But what I think his ultimate ability is the ability to have everyone become metal plated on your team and them to be absolutely armored the fuck out at once, just like that. So an example here, right? You are right on the capture point. You're moving that escort. You use your Silver Surfer ability. Everyone has metal armor. Everyone gets a ton of HP, and it only lasts for 5 seconds, then it quickly goes back down. God, dude, it's like another healer ability where everyone just, boom, armored out. It would be sick, dude. It would be absolutely amazing. I would absolutely love that. Quicksilver would be such a cool ability where he's a healer that doesn't give you health, but gives you a fuck ton of armor, and once you're at full health, that armor will slowly go down. So I think that it can sound a little overpowered, but in reality, It's just balancing itself out. But man, that ult would be overpowered. But it'd just be like, you know, Luna, Snow, or Mantis, where their ults are overpowered too. So that's why I think Quicksilver would be a great addition to the healer. Because I know at first you're like, Quicksilver, that sounds like a tank. But no, he's a support. There you go. So that's that for Quicksilver. And our next, I said Quicksilver, Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer. Why am I saying Quicksilver? I'm a piece of shit. But our next character, right, that I think would be a great addition as a healer is Zagambit. Channing Tatum's Zagambit. Now, the Gambit would be dope. He'd throw cards, and it would be like Luna Snow, where he throws cards at other teammates or other enemies, he damages them. He'd throw cards at teammates, he heals them, right? Pretty cool. Pretty simplistic, that ability. Maybe he has an ability with a staff where he can sort of use the staff as a melee weapon to hit people, but his card's ability to damage and heal, that would be dope, right? But his awesome ability, I think this is such a sick ability, bro, as a ultimate, is I think he has a sort of multi-shot ability, okay? And if you don't know what multi-shot is, it's where you shoot from multiple angles at once, okay? And I think what he should be able to do is have a multi-shot ability where cards in any proximity of him will automatically be thrown to all his teammates and will heal them instantly. Heal, 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 heal all at once. 5 people. Let's say you are the Gambit, you got 5 people around you, you fucking heal all of them at once. Boom, 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 boom. You hear me? Hit the Rolling Stone with the Rollio right here, going all around him. Hitting all of them at once, right? All of them are healing, like a fuck ton. And it's just all cards at simultaneously going to all players all around him, because not all players, it can't travel through it. It just has to be all players within seeing proximity distance. They have to be within you, and he's destroying all them, and they're all healing. And then they're damaging other teammates. That is sick. That is absolutely awesome. Damaging the enemy team, not teammates, throwing them all around would be sick. I would love that. That's a main ability. The Gambit would be dope. And our last ability as a healer, our last guy on this list, we have Black Bolt. Okay, Black Bolt as a support would be sick. Now, we know Black Bolt has a sonic boom effect. So his sonic boom, when he sonic booms at your teammates, heals them. And I think you should have the ability to toggle. You sonic boom at the enemy, you damage them. And I think it's got to be a little bit like Scarlet Witch, where you have to be kind of closer to them for them to take damage. And maybe what you can do is when he hits you, as a teammate, it heals them, right? So you're sonic booming the damage team, and it's damaging them. You sonic boom your teammates, healing them. But his ultimate ability, I think that this should be the first ability in the game where you can toggle the ultimate to do 2 different things. That would be crazy. Number 1, you have the toggle ability to either heal or damage the enemy, your teammates or the enemy team. So you have the ability to sonically boom all in front of you, and not just like a small area, but now it's like a big, massive sonic wave that just keeps going in front of different teams. And it takes all of them out, or it takes all your teammates out. And the coolest thing about Black Bolt that I think would be sick is his sonic boom has the ability in like the movies and the games and in the comics or whatever to damage buildings, stuff like that. You know, all the destructible things on the Marvel Rivals map, all the destructible things that you can take down or whatever. I think that during his ability, that he should have the ability for Black Bolt to sonically damage all buildings and destroy them all instantly. All of them crumbling in front of him. Boom! All buildings crumbled, all enemy team damage, or all your team healed. That would be fucking awesome if he can just chronically damage. He should be a guy that can instantly damage buildings the whole time. Like he has to be next to a building and he can instantly damage it. Like the building's concept of them always breaking and shit is always super cool. I think it's awesome to have destructible objects in the map. So now that you have a character that really thrives off that you haven't seen before, would be so sick. So Black Bolt sonically booming everyone, an amazing ability. I would absolutely love it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what other games, content, Marvel Rivals, zombies, whatever you want it to be. Minecraft, I don't give a hell. Liar's Bar, I don't give a shit what you want to see. Let me know. I do give a shit. I just don't give a shit what the game is. Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you all again very soon. Tell me what character you want. My brothers in Christ. Goodbye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.